Hello everyone, I hope everyone has joined in. Alright, so today's discussion will be regarding the very important chapter of business studies, that is planning. Planning roughly carries around 6 to 8 marks in your board exams. So weightage wise, it's a very important chapter and I'll be needing all your concentration. As always, firstly we'll discuss all the concepts, all the theoretical part, and then the learning tricks. So let's start. Firstly, we'll discuss the meaning of planning. What does planning means? Planning simply means planning is a roadmap of where we are and where we want to reach. Where we are and where we want to reach. So planning is a roadmap. Planning provides direction to our target. For example, we are here where we are and this is where we want to reach, where we want to be. So planning is the roadmap of all this. Planning provides a roadmap to reach your target, your goal, your destination. So planning provides roadmap to reach your target, your destination. Planning is a roadmap of where we are and where we want to be, where we want to reach. Basically, planning is done in each and everything, whether it is business, whether it is anything. Even if you plan for a picnic or for an outing or anything, each and everything has to be planned. So let's quickly read the meaning from our notes. Planning is deciding in advance what to do, how to do. It is one of the basic managerial function. What does it mean? In planning, we have to decide what to do, how to do, where to do, why to do. All these questions, all these W's have to be answered in planning. So in planning, we answer what to do, how to do, when to do, where to do, and some other questions which needs to be answered at the planning stage. Planning is a managerial function, which means that it is done by managers of the organization. So basically, managers need to answer these questions of what we need to do, how we need to do, when we need to do, where we need to do. All such questions have to be answered by the management, answered by the managers. Second point, it involves setting objective, developing appropriate course of action to achieve these objectives. So what does it mean? It simply means that in planning we set an objective. Objective here means a goal or a target which we want to achieve. A goal or a target which we want to achieve, and then deciding how to achieve this goal, how to work for this target. So in planning there are two aspects. Firstly, we have to decide the objective And then how to achieve this objective. We have to decide what should be our objective and how to achieve this objective. So basically the managers need to perform this function. They need to decide, the top management has to decide what should be the objective and how to achieve this objective. So let's quickly come to the third point in the meaning. The plan that is developed has to be given a time frame, but time is limited resource. It needs to be utilized judiciously. It means whatever goal we want to achieve has to be crafted within a time frame. We don't have unlimited time for everything. For example, you are solving a question in accounts. You have a limited time, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You have to solve within that time frame. If you are consuming 1 hour for solving a 20 minutes question, it means even if you solve it, the goal is not achieved. It means if you want to achieve your goal, you have to achieve it within a particular prescribed time frame. If you exceed the time frame, the goal will lose its importance. So basically, what we are saying in this point is, you have to achieve your goal within a given time frame. And what time frame you have should be decided at planning level. It means at planning level itself, one should know what time you have to complete the task, how much time we have to reach our goal, how much time we have in our hands. For example, I want to manufacture a particular product. I want to manufacture a particular thing. I want to construct a wall. So there has to be a decided time frame. Okay, this wall requires, say, 10 hours, say 15 hours, say 5 hours of labor. Whatever time frame which is required should be decided at planning level itself. If we decide the time frame at planning level, then only we'll be able to compare the actual time frame taken. It means if we have decided that this particular thing should be done within 5 hours and eventually the labor takes 6 hours, then we are in a position to control, to take corrective measures on the basis of what we had decided at the planning level. We had decided that it can consume up to 5 hours, but if you have taken 6 hours, then we require a corrective measure so that it is not repeated the next time. So basically, achieving your goal is important, and achieving your goal within a decided time frame is even more important. So the definition contains 3 parts. Planning is deciding in advance what to do, how to do. It is done by top management, so it is a managerial function. It involves setting objective and developing appropriate course of action, means deciding how we have to proceed. And the plan that has been developed has to be given a time frame. It means at planning level, we have to decide how much time we can give to a particular task, how much time should be taken to achieve a particular task, objective or goal. So while planning, we have to consider how much resources we have, how much time we have, and with those given resources, with the given time, what should be our goal. Goal should be realistic. It should be achievable. So time is a limited resource. It should be utilized judiciously to achieve a goal which has been pre-decided. In order to understand this definition in a better way, let's start with importance. Why planning is important? While talking about importance of planning, we must consider the fact that planning occupies an important part in the working of a manager. The top level managers spend most of their time in planning. If you consider anyone, you talk about Reliance Industries, you talk about Mukesh Ambani, what he does the entire day. Most of the time he is planning. Most of the time he is planning. Most of the part of his day is consumed in planning, deciding the course of action for his subordinates, for his company. So, top managers have the task to perform planning for majority of the activities happening in the business. So why planning is important? We want to understand why to plan. I mean, what is the need of planning? Let's understand the importance of planning. As I said, most of the time of managers generally gets consumed in planning. It means planning is an essential part of their daily routine. Planning is an important part of their daily activity. Why planning occupies such an important part of day-to-day routine of such managers? Let's understand. First of all, firstly we'll write all the points and then one by one we will be understanding them. So, all right. There are basically 6 importance of planning. Obviously, we have to learn these points. And it's an important question asked many times by CBSE. Explain the importance of planning. What are the importance of planning? Mention the importance of planning. N number of times it has been asked. So it is an important part of our discussion. First point is planning provides direction. Planning provides direction. It means planning tells us about in which direction we have to move, in which direction we have to take our next step. Second is planning reduces the risk of uncertainty. Reduces the risk of uncertainty. You all quickly write all these points and then we'll discuss and also read all these points from our notes. Planning reduces wasteful activities. Wasteful activities. Planning promotes innovative ideas. Planning promotes innovative ideas. Planning facilitates decision making. Planning facilitates decision making. Decision making is also an important part for managers. We'll be discussing all these points right now. And last is planning establishes standards for controlling. Planning establishes standards for controlling. Planning establishes standards for controlling. Let's quickly come to the first point. Planning provides direction. It means planning gives us a path, a direction on which we have to move. It provides the direction towards which we have to head. It means we will decide in advance of what has to be done, and we have a clear head, we have a clear mind of the direction in which we have to move. So simply, planning lets us know of how we have to perform our functions, of how we have to perform the task for the organization, for the achievement of organizational objective. Planning also helps subordinates, because subordinates will always be knowing of what they have to do, what is good for the organization, and how they can support, they can help the organization grow in a better way. An employee can only grow if he works for an organization, he works for the betterment of an organization, because an employee can only prosper if the organization has prosperity. If an organization is going good, growing, expanding, automatically the employees will also grow, employees will also gain strength, they'll gain knowledge, they'll gain wealth. So the development of an organization and development of an employee go hand in hand. So employees should know what is good for organization, what should be done for the betterment of organization, and that he'll get to know from the plan. So planning provides direction. Planning gives us a direction in which we have to move. Let's quickly read it from our notes. Planning provides direction. First point. By stating in advance how the work is to be done, planning provides direction for action. Planning ensures that objectives are clearly stated in order to develop appropriate course of action. If the plans are set, the department and individual can work in coordination. The department and individual can work in coordination means an employee can work for the betterment of his department and organization as a whole. So, we have already set a plan for which we have to adhere, we have to follow the plan so that the objective of organization can be achieved. We follow a plan so that objective of organization can be achieved. And if everyone is clear of what has to be done, it improves coordination. People will be more coordinated when they know what needs to be done and what is the clear plan of the organization. If everyone knows this is the clear plan, they'll move in a faster and a stronger way towards the objectives of the organization. For example, I have decided that I want to manufacture and sell cars. So now I have a direction. Now I will consider all the aspects related to manufacturing and selling of cars. I'll consider what should be done and what should not be done, how the thing should go, how the thing should be done. All that has to be decided considering the fact that I want to sell cars. I want to manufacture and sell cars. So planning gives me a clear-cut direction of what needs to be done. Second point, planning reduces the risk of uncertainty. Planning is an activity which enables a manager to look ahead and anticipate changes. The changes or events cannot be eliminated, but by deciding the plans, the course of action in advance, the managers can anticipate and adjust the plans according to the situation. It means while planning, we anticipate what might happen in future, what might come to us in future. So while planning, we also form plans of how to face such situations. We also frame plans on how to fight with such situations, how to fight with adversities which might arise in future. A planned organization is better than an organization which is working in an ad hoc way. Which means if you have already planned of how to face a difficulty, you will be able to face it in a better way compared to a situation where you don't know about what you are going to face, what difficulties might arise. So planning helps us to anticipate of what might happen in future. So since we had taken an example of manufacturing and selling cars, now what uncertainties might arise in future? Electricity engines are coming, electric cars are coming. So considering that, I should always be ready. I should remain ready of considering the fact that I might have to change from diesel engine or petrol engine to the electric engine. Diesel and petrol both are manufactured from crude oil, and crude oil is going to extinct. It is going towards extinction. So basically we have to plan of what things are going to be in future, how things are going to change in future, so that I can make myself strong enough to fight with that situation, to face that situation. Third point, planning reduces wasteful activities. Planning reduces overlapping and wasteful activities. Planning serves as a basis for coordinating the activities and efforts of different divisions, departments, and individuals. It reduces useless, redundant activities and avoid confusion, misunderstanding, and ensures clarity in thought and action. It means if we plan for a certain thing, or if we plan on how to achieve the goal of the organization, we will reduce the number of wasteful efforts we will be doing. With a clear mind, with a clear mindset, we will work on the objective, on the goal, and we will not work on the things which are not necessary for achieving that goal. It means planning improves coordination. So if a worker is performing a particular task, he knows he is responsible for that task and no other person will be doing that task. So there will be no duplication of efforts, since we have planned each and everything. Since everything is planned, there will be no duplication of efforts and there will be no wasteful efforts. Since we had taken an example of manufacturing and selling cars, now I have to make clear to each and every individual working in an organization of what they have to do, what is their task. if I have asked a department that their job is to procure engines, their job is to buy engines from the market. So they will be doing the efforts of procurement, they will be doing all the efforts of buying the best suited engine at lowest cost. Now, since they have the responsibility of buying engines, none of the other person of the organization will waste their time on searching for suppliers of engines or buying engines or doing anything for procurement of engines. So, each and every individual in the organization has a clear mindset of what he has in his bag, what task he has to perform, what is he supposed to do. Let's quickly come to the next point. Planning promotes innovative ideas. Let's read it. Planning promotes innovative ideas. Planning is the first function of management. Managers get the opportunity to develop new ideas. New ideas can take shape of concrete plans. It guides all the future actions leading to growth and prosperity of the business. So what does it mean? Since we all know planning is the first function of management, there are 5 functions of management: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. So planning is the first one. This is the first function of management. When managers begin, they are in the planning stage. They have the option of exploring things, generating new and creative ideas. They always have an option to consider what alternatives they have. While planning, they can develop new ideas, they can give a thought process, they can always think of how they can do things differently. Because it's a dynamic environment, things are changing day by day. So how to make a plan which is concrete and which is innovative? Managers always have a chance of being innovative. They can think of new things, they can consider new ideas, they can consider the creative aspect of dynamic environment. Dynamic means the thing which keeps on changing. An environment is dynamic because it changes continuously. So in the dynamic environment, managers always have a chance to consider all the alternatives they have and to pick and choose the alternative which is best, which is different, which is innovative. Like in case of business of manufacturing and selling cars, what innovative things can be done? For example, Ratan Tata introduced a plan of selling a four-wheeler, selling a car for just rupees 1 lakh for lower middle class Indians. Obviously, you know the name of the car, that was Nano. It had a 21-month advance booking filled up. 21-month advance booking. So, it was innovative. It was definitely innovative. To fix a car in rupees 1 lakh is in itself a big thing. So there are a lot of opportunities of innovating if you are planning. Once you are finished with planning, you have to implement. But while planning, you always have time to explore ideas, to explore new things, and to act accordingly. Next is planning facilitates decision making. Planning facilitates decision making. Planning involves setting standard predicting the future conditions, thus helping in taking rational decisions from alternative course of actions. We always plan of how we have to do a certain thing. For example, we are going for an outing or we are going for a holiday. We plan of what all places we have to cover. Students, whenever we have a set target in mind, it is easier to take relevant decisions. Whenever there is a set target in your mind, and since in planning we have already decided the direction, we have already decided the objective, the plan, hence it is easy to take decisions. In planning we predict future, we think of what might happen, what might not happen, what might work, what might not work. Like we took an example of Nano. Tata always knew that manufacturing a car in rupees 1 lakh is a difficult task. It is not a cup of tea. He always knew that 1 lakh and a car are not matching. But he knew that he can achieve this difficult thing. Now, questions must have come at various steps. What engine to install, what features to install, what accessories do they have to put in. They had a clear mindset. We can only put those things which are cheap or easily available at lower cost, because they cannot install expensive accessories, expensive music systems, and take all such decisions so that they can achieve their target of selling a car for rupees 1 lakh. So they have to frame such decisions which can achieve their target of selling a car for rupees 1 lakh. So in order to sell a car for rupees 1 lakh, it was easy for them to decide, okay, we have to install this, we have to take this engine, we have to take this tire, we have to consider the cost. So they were clear in their mind that we have to install cost effective things, cost effective engine, cost effective tires, cost effective metal, so that they can accomplish their target of rupees 1 lakh, a car in 1 lakh. The last point, planning establishes the standards for controlling. Planning establishes the standards for controlling. Planning provides the standards against which the actual performance is measured. Therefore, planning is a prerequisite for controlling. Look, controlling means measuring your performance of how the thing should have been done and how it has been actually done. How it should have been done and how it has actually been done. You are comparing the two things. This is called controlling. Comparison between how the thing should have been done and how it has actually been done. So if you have not planned, you don't know how the thing should have been done. So you cannot compare it with how it has actually been done. If I have planned, I know that a wall can be manufactured in a cost of rupees 10,000. So I have a standard in my mind that it will require rupees 10,000 to manufacture a wall, to construct a wall. Now I can compare if the actual cost is 12,000. I can take actions, corrective measures, so that next time my labor is able to complete the wall within the cost parameters of 10,000. Like we took an example of manufacturing and selling cars, we always have a pre-estimate in mind. For example, Nano always knew that they have to manufacture the car for rupees 1 lakh. So if anything which is resulting in enhancement of cost, they have to control that thing. Anything which can enhance their cost has to be controlled. So controlling can only be done if you have a set plan. To sum up, the importance of planning is it provides direction, it reduces the risk of uncertainty, it reduces wasteful activities, it promotes innovation, it helps in decisions, and it helps in controlling, because if you don't have a standard, you don't have a plan, you cannot control. You cannot correct the things about which you don't know. So planning is important in order to achieve the objectives of the organization. If you want to achieve your objectives, if you want to achieve your goals, it is very important to plan well. All right, everyone. I think that should be it for today. That was today's discussion regarding meaning and importance of planning. We'll continue tomorrow with some features and we'll discuss the types of plan. But that's it for today. Thank you so much. If you have any queries, you can always WhatsApp me or you can comment. I'm always there. So that's it for today. Thank you so much.